I thought that every African woman, every African person smelled bad. That's just thought. That's just not. This is just coming from the Western society. That's what they got on TV, And then you meet people like you grow up and you meet that one African guy that lived down the street, and he smelled bad. So it's like in my eyes, that's just what I thought.
What is the one takeaway with your entire experience here that you would tell them?
My number one thing is peace. I feel peaceful. Peace. That's the number one thing that I would tell to any of my friends. Well, actually, that's what I say to any of my friends. Like, it's not really about the woman. It's not really about the attractions. It's not really about none of that. If I feel peaceful here, I do, man. Some good people here. Food is amazing. Amazing to me, actually, because I'm a foodie. But everything here brings me peace. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. I feel like I'm myself. I can go outside and get on a bike or on a moped, and I don't feel like I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? But in the States, you get on a moped or a bus or public transportation, it look a little different. So what I would tell my people back in the States, peace. You will find your peace here.
You feel like you could get married now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a husband type guy. Like, I love being a boyfriend. I don't really care for being single too much. But for the most part, I did lose sight to that. Being in America, you kind of lose even perception of marriage or relationships. You just kind of get on your own vibe. But here, I kind of feel like I ain't gonna say I am. I wanna get married. Like, I ain't gonna lie, because I see how happy it can get here. Like, there's some good people here, some good women here. They got their downfalls, but for the most part, yeah, it did change my outlook on marriage.
It's your favorite YouTuber, Austin Holleman, and we have another testimonial guest here. Terrence, this is his first trip here in Nairobi. Tell everybody where you from and what do you do?
What's going on? It's your boy Terrence, aka Travel Man. So, what I do? Well, I'm from Toledo. I was born in Toledo, Ohio. That's where I was born at. What I do? My parents, they own a couple RV parks around, and I do some work for them. And I also day trade, and I was in the military, so I get some military benefits.
Okay, and what made you decide to come to Kenya for the first time?
Honestly, my homie came here back in 2016, and he was like, "Yo," he didn't like it at all. Like, he didn't like it at all. He came to
Really?
Nairobi. Yeah, he didn't like it at all. But I don't know if it was like pre-COVID or something like that, but he didn't like it. So he was showing me all the videos, and I'm like, "Look, this was back in 2016. It looked cool. It looks great." But then I started doing my own research, and I was like, I'm just not gonna come to Africa. Like, I just thought I was not gonna come. But then your videos start popping up. And I was already watching you, but then your videos already start popping up when you staying in actual Nairobi instead of traveling around. So once I seen that, I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. And everybody else start popping up with Nairobi videos, Kenya videos, Africa. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me go check it out, man.
And what was your expectations before you landed, with that being said?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I still thought people was walking around, and I thought they was living in bushes and tents and huts, and I didn't even know they had buildings. I ain't gonna lie. Like, when I came here and I seen buildings and like the infrastructure was actually better than what I thought, I was surprised. I ain't gonna lie, I was real surprised. But it excited me though. It excited me because I was nervous at first.
So I was nervous too when I first came to Africa, in specific Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. So since you thought everybody was in the bushes and you didn't know that they had buildings, what was the first thing you noticed when you did land off the plane?
The first thing I noticed? Like, what you mean, as in?
So, like, the first thing I noticed, it wasn't when I got off the plane. Because Jared, I did an interview with him yesterday. He was talking about how hot the airport is, which it is hot. The first thing I noticed was how everybody spoke English when I got here.
Okay.
And then I was in Westlands, and I was like, oh, wow, they got a Pizza Hut. They got a Domino's right here.
Yeah.
They, like you said, they got skyscrapers. Because I came from Dar es Salaam, but he had skyscrapers, but it was literally like one or two.
Yeah.
And versus here, it's like a real city. It's not like New York skyline or Sao Paulo, but it's a real
It got
city.
a real, yeah.
So, but what was the first thing that impressed you visually?
I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a stupid one, but real stuff. It was when I came out the airport. Well, I'm gonna say two things. It was one, I didn't think that, because like everywhere else, when I go, I used to live in Germany, I used to live in, every other place in Europe. And when I meet Africans from over there, I just wasn't attracted. I don't know why, I just wasn't attracted. So when I got here, the first thing I noticed how beautiful these women were. I swear to God, like as soon as I got off the plane, I'm like, this is not what I thought. I swear to God.
I swear it's
I
not
s
what you think.
Yeah. So that
Yeah,
was one thing that, like, kinda shocked me. And then the other thing, this is kinda stupid, but it was like, 'cause I was already in my head thinking there's gonna be giraffes and rhinos walking around, but it was some big old bird. You see them big birds by the
yeah,
airport? Them big
yeah,
old bird and the
yeah.
monkeys over there? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, "Oh, it's about to go down. I'm about to see, big old lion walk," but it was nothing like that. That's that's what it was.
I will elaborate on that too. Whenever I was in Bangkok, Texas, uh, Europe, Uruguay, and South America, most of the Africans that you meet, they don't look like the ones that like I've been to 9 countries and like the ones it seems like they keep themselves up a
I
lot
swear to
more
God.
here. Like they be walking around a little ratchet
I
in
swear
other
to
countries.
God, it's
But when
different,
you get
man.
over here, like the chicks over here can give the way how they dress here can give a lot of chicks around the world a run for their money. They be
Run.
wearing trench coats and high heels. I was like,
No,
damn.
you're right though.
Okay, this is not what I thought. So, that being said, you said that you were nervous because of your preconceptions. Did you feel safe your first night here?
You know what's crazy? So yes and no, because it's the crazy part. I got here, I was here with somebody. I knew somebody from. I was in Iraq at the time, and she was there. I met her here in Nairobi. So I had booked an Airbnb. I just booked one. I don't know where it was at. I didn't know. I just booked it. It was in the worst part ever. I don't know where it was, but it was like even she was like the Uber driver was like, "You sure this is where you want to go?" You know what I'm saying? It was like 12 o'clock midnight, and I'm saying like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But he took me to another spot, and that spot was in Kilimani. And yeah, after that first night, I felt good. I ain't
Yes. So you just pretty much picked the wrong spot. When I got to
yeah.
Dar es Salaam, it was like that. Where I stayed at was safe, but it didn't seem like it because Dar es Salaam's infrastructure was so far behind. Like the
Mhm.
street, I was in Mwali Mwala, I think they called it. The street was completely dark.
Yeah,
It was dudes walking up and down. They were harmless. I mean,
just
but it just was like,
you don't want to be
I ain't
around
gonna
that.
lie to you. When I first got to Dar es Salaam, we was going from the airport. It was dirt roads, and it looked like a grenade had exploded under this house. It was a house with a huge gap. A, a pack of alligators could have been living under there. That's how
That's
big the
it.
hole was. And so I was looking around. We was going to the little markets. It's all these people walking around selling stuff, and I was really like this in the back seat, like, man, don't
Like,
let them see me. I said,
yeah.
"It's too many niggas over here." That's really what I said out loud. Like, it's too many. And I asked the Uber driver, I was like, "Is this safe?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's just laughing at me. I'm like, "Nah, they about to get me. They about to kidnap me or some shit." But that's reminds me of the experience you had. But
Yeah.
I was in the right area. It's just Dar es Salaam is far behind.
Yeah,
So
for the most part, I felt safe though. Yeah.
so compare Nairobi back to your hometown.
See, that's the thing. I grew up everywhere, like everywhere. But if I could say, I don't feel safe nowhere in the States. I got a couple of cities where I used to, like San Diego, I feel somewhat safe. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel safe in Pensacola. I don't feel safe in Toledo. Like, here, I can walk around at 3 o'clock in the morning and feel okay. I mean, there is some spots you shouldn't walk around, but that's just common knowledge. But for me, I feel pretty good of here, safety wise. I don't feel like I'm on guard. Like in the States, I feel like I'm on guard. You know what I'm saying? On road rage, anything anywhere in the States can pop off at any time. Over here, I feel like people get mad, but it ain't nothing about to go to where it goes in the States. Like I heard you say, like road rage and turning of straight gun violence easy. So yeah, I feel good.
Yeah,
Well,
the number one thing when you compare road rage here, road rage is they're not even in a rage here. They're just essentially just talking shit to each
yeah,
other.
that's all.
And they can get out the car and yell at each other. Nobody's gonna swing on
Ain't
nobody.
nobody gonna do
But
nothing.
in America, you cut somebody off, they'll follow you home and shoot you
Yeah, real stuff.
and shoot you in your own drive.
Yeah,
Yeah, behind cutting, they ready to end it all behind getting cut off. That's just how tense it is.
yeah, I feel cool.
So a lot of guys want to know about dating because I used to do a bunch of dating content around the world, and I'm
Hmm.
transitioning, but I still talk about that because I still have that audience, and I know I was interested in that as one time. So how would you compare the women here to where you're originally from in the States?
See, I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't have a problem dating in the States.
Mm.
I had a. I feel like in the States I had a consideration problem. I don't feel like the women were very considerate. But now that I've been traveling around for 15 years. After traveling around and meeting women from all over, I see that's just the going rate, everywhere. But I will say the women in Kenya, I can have a conversation with women in Kenya because my main thing in relationships is understanding. You got to be able to. We ain't got to agree. We just got to be able to understand each other and see where we're coming from. In America, that's hard to get. Like just a simple knowledge, just simple understanding of 1 + 1 = 2.
Mm-hmm.
In Kenya, these women are very. They listen. They I ain't gonna try to say they be quiet or they shut up because that's not what I'm trying to say. But they,
Social skills.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. In America, my main thing that was going down was my social skills in America. Over here, I can actually speak to people, and women over here, they're just very sweet. They're very kind. They're very loving. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very good thing. Now they do have their negative parts, but like everybody do for the most part. I can have a conversation. I can kick it with these women, and I feel good. I can smile. I can laugh. I don't feel uncomfortable for the most part, like in America, because in the back of your head, you're kind of getting used, you're kind of getting this, but here, I feel good.
Yeah, I think to elaborate on what you're saying, I think it's natural here. So you feel like you can't let your guard down nowhere, but it
Yeah,
feels like you could just unwind a little bit. Versus
yeah,
in the States, it's like you gotta put on a you gotta
yeah,
you gotta
yeah,
pretend everything is like so like you can't really just yeah, you can't really just be yourself. I feel like was what I always
yeah.
said.
I used to tell people, like in America, I feel like you bring your representative to your dates. Everybody got
Exactly.
to bring a representative. So I just want to be myself, man.
Yeah.
I'm me. I'm a real guy. Like you get what you see right here. This is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely relate with you on that. So you said that the women here are beautiful, but we always got people in my comments and on my lives like saying that they're mid or I don't know where that's coming from. But I mean, what do you have to say to those people?
I'm gonna say this right here. Like, I would love to watch their life. Put your life on the screen and let me see how many women you talk to in a month time span. Let me see how many of those women are just drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if you don't like black women, just say that. I love black women. Black women are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like them, you don't like them. You ain't got to put other people down just because I'm a positive person. So if you don't like them, you don't like them. You ain't got to put nobody down just because, if it's not your taste, it's not your taste.
Yeah, yeah, I could agree with that as well. So
Now, don't move here. Shit, that's what it really don't move here. If you don't like them, don't move here.
yeah, yeah, I'm done. For the guys that want to listen, they can listen.
Yeah.
If not, hey, I'm done convincing. I've already done enough. I got almost 200 pieces of content over in Nairobi. What would you say to your friends back home about Kenya? What is the one takeaway with your entire experience here that you would tell them?
My number one thing is peace. I feel peaceful. Peace. That's the number one thing that I would tell to any of my friends. Well, actually, that's what I say to any of my friends. Like, it's not really about the woman. It's not really about the attractions. It's not really about none of that. If I feel peaceful here, I do, man. Some good people here. Food is amazing. Amazing to me, actually, because I'm a foodie. But everything here brings me peace. I don't feel rushed. I don't feel like I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses. I feel like I'm myself. I can go outside and get on a bike or on a moped and I don't feel like I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? But in the States, you get on a moped or a bus or public transportation, it look a little different. So what I would tell my people back in the States, peace. You will find your peace here.
Since you found peace here in Kenya, what has been your biggest personal growth moment since you've been visiting here?
Marriage. I see now like being here.
You feel like you could get married now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a husband type guy. Like, I love being a boyfriend. I don't really care for being single too much. But for the most part, I did lose sight to that. Being in America, you kind of lose even perception of marriage or relationships. You just kind of get on your own vibe. But here, I kind of feel like I ain't gonna say I am. I wanna get married. Like, I ain't gonna lie because I see how happy it can get here. Like, there's some good people here, some good women here. They got their downfalls, but for the most part, yeah, it did change my outlook on marriage.
So now that you said that you found peace and you see yourself getting married, it sounds like this is home to you. What exactly? How do you define home to yourself?
Home, so what's crazy? I grew up everywhere. I don't have a really. That's where I was born in Toledo, Ohio, but I kind of grew up so many different places. I've been traveling since I was like 15 years old, in the states and countries, different places. So my perception of home it's always been a little cattywampus because I didn't really know what home was because I had so many different people, so many different homes. Now here, I can see a community of people that's good energy, good vibes. Women are beautiful. Food is good. Everything about this is good. Everything about this feels good. This feels like I can start a home here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say it feels like home. Yeah, it feels peaceful, but I could start a home here. And I'm talking about wife, I don't know about my kid, but wife, stuff like that. I feel good that I can this feels like home.
Do you feel like, in addition to home, that you could start a business to bring opportunities, not just for yourself and your family, but for the locals here as well?
Yeah, actually, it was crazy because that's all I was doing was, a businessman for my whole life. I ain't gonna say my whole life. I ain't gonna say my mom got me and my parents got me into just thinking about business. But when I got here, I got so burnt out that I ain't want to get into business anymore. I was just like, I'm just want to live my life. But now coming here and I see I see all these people talking about business. It's like it's starting to spark my brain a little bit. It's putting a little light bulb in them. So now I'm looking at so many things that can be created, and now I'm like changing my mind frame to just at first I just wanted to chill and travel and relax and enjoy it. But now my mind is getting right back into the business side because I see it's an opportunity here. And I really do feel in like 10 years time from now, if you can have your business already created, a brick and mortar or whatever it is that you got here in Kenya, 10 years time is you're gonna be a staple here. So I do want to get into the market. I don't know exactly what yet, but I want to get into the market.
The longer that you stay here, there's things that you wouldn't have thought of. Like I always say, like ice cream cups, individual single ice cream cups. You can't find it at a grocery store. Even bagged popcorn, I've only seen that one grocery store.
The little ice cream cups,
The
the
little
little
Bluebell
phone.
small ones
Yeah.
for one, like, one sitting. They only had a big tubs here.
Oh, sure.
Those are
Okay.
opportunities that can be here, but nobody has thought about it, or they just haven't came across it yet. And generalizing to Africa, even though you've only been to Kenya, generalizing to Africa, what is one stereotype about Africa that has been completely busted for you on this trip?
I was gonna say one, but I would say honestly, I thought that every African woman, every African person smelled bad. That's just thought. That's just not. This is just coming from the Western society. That's what they got on TV, And then you meet people like you grow up and you meet that one African guy that lived down the street, and he smelled bad. So it's like in my eyes, that's just what I thought. So when I started traveling, I just always thought like I ain't going to Africa because like I thought like my whole apartment was gonna smell like just like whatever. But coming here, I mean, you still got that that smell, here and there, but it's not what I thought. I really thought like everybody had that type of like nobody had showers, nobody had nothing of that. So, but that's something that busting is like, oh, y'all really got clothes, like y'all really looking good. Like, y'all look good over here. The Kenyan man be dressing up like impressive. Like when they get dressed up, they be fresh. You know what I'm saying? The Kenyan woman, they dress up, smell real good. I'll be like, okay, that kind of surprised me. I don't know why I thought about that.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, the Kenyan women, and they keep their teeth brushed. They use
Yeah.
floss and mouthwash.
Like what's crazy, I ain't know they get their hair done as much.
They
Like,
keep their hair. I don't
yeah.
think people understand when they see certain. Let's just say, and I'm not trying to downplay the Kenyan women that don't get their hair done a lot. In my opinion, that's not the norm. Like, it's chicks that barely got shit out here that's keeping their hair and their
I
nails.
swear to God, bro. I'm like, how you living that? But you fresh as hell. That shit
Yeah.
don't make. They look good.
They house don't be matching the way how they look and smell.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
I've met some chicks that looked like they lived in my neighborhood. They do not live over there.
Not even
They
close,
live
man.
on the other side. Well, again, I appreciate you for doing the interview. If you guys would like to join my personal network when you come here to Nairobi, you can click the link in the first pinned comment, book a consultation, and you can join the same group chats, the same events, the same house parties. Now, don't bank on that last part. As Terrence right here, if you join our network. So click the link in the first pinned comment description. You'd be an idiot if you didn't join this group.